What's up, everybody? Today's January 7th, 2020. In this video, we're going to talk about Dave Chappelle and his acceptance ceremony of the 2019 Mark Twain Award, which, although this occurred back in October of last year, is airing on PBS tonight, once again, January 7th. In this video, we're going to see how this event was staged entirely by the numbers. The code that we'll be looking at uses dates, of course, the date numerologies, and also duration between dates. This is combined with the language of Gematria, which is the practice and observation of numbers and words. And through these methods, the riddles play out in a very, very clear fashion. The most basic cipher is called English ordinal. This numbers the alphabet 1 through 26, each letter relative to its position in the alphabet. The reduction method uses the rules of numerology to reduce each double-digit number to a single digit before adding it to the equation. So the letter L, for instance, the 12th letter, 1 plus 2 is 3. N, the 14th letter, 1 plus 4 is 5, and so on. We're also going to glance at Jewish Gematria. This is also known as Latin Gematria, as it's based in the Latin alphabetic order, where more modern English characters are placed at the end of the cipher. So let's get started. First of all, the name Mark Twain in the alphabetic order has a value of 110. This happens to be the same as Dave Chappelle, also 110 using the standard alphabetic order. Let's take a quick peek at Mark Twain. This was a pseudonym, and his real name was Samuel Langhorne Clemens. I want to point out the Jewish Gematria value of his name, which yields a 790. In numerology, zeros are ignored, which you'll see very clearly in a second. The number 79 is a prime number. Notice how 79 is the 22nd prime number. The last name Twain, his chosen pen name, has a reduction value of 22. Furthermore, his birth date of November 30th, 1835, has reduced numerology of 22 if you add all of the individual digits of his birthday together. Dave Chappelle happens to be the 22nd winner of the Twain Award. This is an award. You have to find this Wikipedia page. The Prize for American Humor was first issued in 1998, and there's been a winner every year since, meaning Dave Chappelle's award is the 22nd Twain Award of all time. So we saw how both Mark Twain and Dave Chappelle have the same gematria. Well, if you add these two names together, this gives us 220. And again, although this ceremony occurred in October, here it is airing on January 7th in the year 2020, a lot like the number 220. Dave Chappelle's real name is David Khari Weber Chappelle. Also in the alphabetic order, this name equals 220. Notice how in Jewish Gematria, a cipher which doesn't always give us the same numerology as English ordinal, this name sums to 2002. Well, this is especially interesting because not only is Chappelle's show, well, of course it's 22 minutes, they all are, but look at the date it first aired. January 22nd of 2003, which is 22 days after the last day in 2002. 22 in numerology is known as the master builder number. Using the alphabetic order, master builder number equals 220. And we're going to look at how this is probably a Masonic numeric ritual in a little bit. You know, the National Football League, that was founded by Freemasons. National Football League equals 220. And think about how this year's Super Bowl is going to be on the date 2/2/2020. 22 players on the field. Moving along with the numerology of Dave Chappelle. Dave was born on August 24th of 1973. So this was the 24th day of the month, and the date he was born had numerology of 124. His show, Chappelle's Show, which equals 214, first aired 21 weeks and 4 days after his birthday. The series' final episode aired on the date July 23rd, which is the 204th day of the year. Now, if you measure from the start of Chappelle's Show to the final episode, you get just 1 day past 42 months. The name Chappelle equals 42 in reduction. And this was a TV show, TV summing to 42 in ordinal. And of course, Chappelle, known for saying the N-word, which has a reduction value of 42. This number commonly stamped into stories with black people. The word brothers equals 42, so does slavery in the reverse reduction method. Bigotry, another 42. And then if you think about it, Dave Chappelle wound up quitting comedy in 2004. So although the series ended in 2006, it was 2004 where he started to really have problems with his series. So this Mark Twain Award is called the Mark Twain Prize for American Humor. Notice how in the reverse alphabetic order, we get this interesting number of 448. And a friend of mine recently pointed out to me that this number kind of looks like a key, doesn't it? You have the key loops on one side and then the chain on the other. Interesting observation. I found a couple other people who thought there was maybe something to that. But this number stands out. Ancient accepted Scottish rite of Freemasonry, whose headquarters is in Washington, D.C. These are the guys that run our federal government. This has an ordinal value of 448. I believe it's Scottish rite in trigonal, which also equals 1448. So it would make sense that there would be some Masonic numerology here. And in order to understand this, let's first look at the capital G, which sits at the center of Freemasonry's logo. In Gematria, I have 2 capital letter ciphers on my website. The first is called Francis Bacon, which adds 26 for each capital letter. The other we call Frank Baconis, which mixes capital and small letters. This is also known as the classroom cipher. Well, here, notice how the capital G is at position 13 in the cipher. In Francis Bacon, the capital G is down here at 33. So this 1333 code is something we see quite often. So first, let's start with the 13. Once again, Chappelle's Show ended on July 23rd of 2006. Meaning if you measure from that date to the date of tonight's special in which Chappelle accepts his Mark Twain Award, you get a span of 13 years and 169 days. Well, 169 stands out because 169 is 13 squared. 13 times 13, 169. Using trigonal gematria, which we just peeked at, Chappelle's Show equals 1313. Now, another interesting thing about this is that the number 13, when spelled out, is the only number that has gematria of 99. And in our English extended cipher, Chappelle's Show sums to 990. This method, the other major large number cipher I teach on this channel, using the current 26-letter alphabet. Now this brings us to the 33. If we again look at the final episode of Chappelle's show, but instead measure to Dave Chappelle's date of birth. Check out how that final episode aired 333 days into Chappelle's 33rd year. Now the 33rd prime number is 137. Tonight's special on January 7th airs a span of 137 days after Chappelle's birthday. To take this a step further, we also see that this is exactly 33 weeks before his next birthday. A couple more here to share. Measuring from the end of Chappelle's show, which was, here we go. Chappelle's show's final episode aired on July 23rd. This is the date written 7/23. If you measure from that date to the date of tonight's special, it's been a span of 702 weeks and 3 days. Now, without the end date, we get a very fancy number that is often attributed to Masonry, this 722. Well, January 7th is the first date to have 227 Gematria. This number is significant because 22 divided by 7 gives you the first 3 digits of pi, 3.14. And using the alphabetic order, 22 divided by 7 gives us 314. So this can only make it more interesting, right? There's been a lot of theories about Dave Chappelle and how he had his breakdown back in 2004, couldn't continue anymore. A lot of people think that there's a new Dave Chappelle, that he was somehow cloned and came back or whatever, but of course I don't really buy into that stuff. What I do buy into is that his show and this acceptance of the Twain Award was constructed completely by the numbers, by the Freemasonic Code of Gematria. Thanks for jumping in the chat, everybody. Peace, love, and God bless. See ya!